Nobody wants President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician.
It was obvious that Gavin Newsom was unbalanced. He had not anticipated or prepared for this. Instead of staying ahead of the curve, he had to respond in real time when the development came in so suddenly. He probably wouldn't have expected it to go as it did, even if there had been clear warning indications.
The question is very simple, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't trust Gavin with his best friend's wife, how can you trust him with your state?
Older video clips of Gavin Newsom have surfaced and gained popularity online over the past few weeks. Now what seemed like lost video is making the rounds and igniting heated discussions on social media. Viewers are re-examining his previous statements and public appearances, breaking them down frame by frame, and posing new queries about his true nature beyond the polished political fade.
Nobody wants President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. That guy's a con man. I mean, everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids, which was totally unnecessary, to being caught out in public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors.
We're diving headfirst into the pandemonium today and dissecting everything that's going on.
All of it. It's just, nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone-cold, narrative-driven politician. You know, and it's... Nobody thinks he's a real human. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. With Newsom, you got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. It's just, I don't think people want that.
And that's precisely where the impact is greatest. The consistency of the paradox is what matters, not a single error or a contrived gesture. He acts in one way while saying another, establishes the guidelines, and then disregards them. The veneer starts to fall apart once people start to notice that gap. All speeches, policy announcements, and well-groomed public appearances suddenly seem empty.
So I'm asking about the attack on the Yale students over New Year's, and it's kind of spreading across the country. A couple other, some news outlets in other countries are picking it up.
And it's a good reminder how important it is to remind our parents to be good stewards of underage drinking.
I appreciate that. The only other question I have is, it hasn't been a very easy week for you, and I'm wondering whether you have any comment on the Mateer and Roth story about the drinking.
Thank you very much. That was a great cheap shot. You can't help yourselves. You cannot.
Just know, for the record, it's increasingly impossible to have a conversation. The mayor was out there.
That was a meltdown for the history books and the timing. Let's just say it explains way more than he probably intended.
Just know it's not personal when I walk by it. You just send some other reporters, it's going to be a lot easier.
It's not personal here either.
Towards Channel 7.
I'm sorry?
You keep missing consistently a lot of facts because your opinion is so enthusiastic to getting away on those facts. And then, let me tell you, the investigation is not helped by a lot of things that are in the report. Just stating that factually as well.
It's just a story, man.
However, this is where things start to get interesting. Joe's points hardly touch the surface of Gavin Newsom's situation. If you look closely, the narrative becomes much more complicated. Consider the massive utility company PG&E in California, which has long been blamed for starting destructive wildfires such as the 2018 Camp Fire that destroyed the whole town of Paradise. The business made $13.5 billion in settlement payments to victims of that tragedy and others the following year. The twist is that PG&E has contributed significantly to Newsom. One source claims that during the previous 20 years, he and his spouse earned at least $700,000 from the utility. He approved legislation providing $21 billion in new insurance protections after taking office, which many saw as a covert bailout. He also supported a bankruptcy agreement that kept PG&E afloat. And that's actually only the beginning. A reporter asked him about his own past with drinking, and you'll hear his response. That is truly astounding.
I want to make it clear that everything you've heard and read is true, and I am deeply sorry about that. I've hurt someone I care deeply about, Alex Turk, his friends and family, and that is something that I have to live with and something that I am deeply sorry for. I am also sorry that I've let the people of San Francisco down. They expect a lot of their mayor, and my personal lapse of judgment aside, I am committed to restoring their trust and confidence, and will work very hard in the upcoming months to make sure that the business of running the city is framed appropriately.
People will remember that outburst for a long time, and the timing couldn't have been more telling. To put it mildly, it revealed a lot more than he most likely intended. Around the same time, Gavin Newsom was connected to a new girlfriend who was only 20 years old. What had begun as hushed rumors soon became front-page news. Legally an adult, yes, but under 21-year-olds are not allowed to drink in California. When a camera caught her clutching a wine glass at an event Newsom attended, that particular detail attracted notice. He said he deals with all kinds of terrible calls from reporters doing mean-spirited things when questioned about it. Curiously, the photographer's site soon stopped posting those pictures. The story picked up steam a few months later. Politicians were shocked to learn that Newsom had an affair with the wife of his campaign manager. Let's examine his handling of the dispute and the ensuing ramifications.
The mayor used the occasion of the city's $500 million deficit to start doing interviews again. But of course, we began with questions about his uncharacteristic absence from the public limelight.
Mr. Mayor, good to see you. Let me start by asking you, where have you been?
$522.2 million shortfall. Last year we had a 575.6. Hank, I'm here to talk about today and tomorrow. Now, yesterday I've been working my tail off. I've been out. I think I had 69 public events in the last 2.5 weeks.
You know, I heard you
we've
say
been
that on
working
the radio today,
yeah.
and then I asked your staff, well, where's the printout? Where are these events? And your press person said, well, this is stuff he just goes to.
Yeah, these are all public events, yeah.
That apology was seen as one of the most hollow public declarations imaginable. It's flat, it's practiced, it has no real feeling at all. This wasn't just a small error. His campaign manager's wife's involvement escalated the matter into a major controversy. ABC said at the time that political insiders predict that more revelations about the scandal could emerge, potentially damaging Newsom's re-election campaign. They made a grave calculation error. Spoiler alert, Gavin Newsom easily won re-election with 73.66% of the vote a few months later. He not only managed to stay in power, but he also made his position stronger. The point is that he is currently causing financial chaos in California. In a way, San Francisco served as his practice. Additionally, he went utterly crazy and astonished everyone with his response when a CBS reporter questioned him about the consequences of his time there.
Then, when it was time to talk about the city's finance problems, Newsom seemed out of patience.
Deficit, $522 million.
Yeah, it's a
lot
big
of
deficit.
money. What does this
Yeah,
mean?
just
Layoffs?
a big deficit, a lot of work ahead of us.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, just got a lot of work ahead of us, big deficit.
At the end, he couldn't leave the room fast enough.
Off the record, I'm amazingly disappointed. Amazingly. I just am, personally.
When the conversation shifted to the city's growing financial issues, Newsom's poise fell apart. He was gone by the end, disappearing more quickly than a politician in front of an antagonistic town hall. The paradox? He began the interview by discussing the fiscal deficit, but as soon as someone asked questions, he bolted. The events in San Francisco were really a prelude to the statewide stage, as I have stated. The true surprise is that, in spite of all that expenditure, the results are hardly noticeable. Even though California spent $24 billion on homelessness during his administration, the number of homeless persons continued to rise. And for some reason, he's still regarded as a possible frontrunner for the Democratic candidacy in 2028 given that record. To remain up to date, leave your thoughts in the comments section, and remember to hit like and subscribe.